Hello everyone, hello Bone, hello Zols. Alright, surprise stream. I want to grind through the story quest from Cyno and Clorinda, and maybe if we have time I'll do the side story quest. The character quest question mark from Yinlin in Withering Waves. Anywho, I kinda wanna speedrun all that as well, so I'll just skim through the dialogues and stuff. We'll start with Cyno. How is everyone doing today? Valentine, hello! How are you doing? Oh, cutscene. Max resin. I think I have max resin. Really feels like it's been forever. Just woke up from a nap and now on that Wuva grind, Wuthering Waves grind. Good luck on the grind! Have fun on the grind. Actually, I should do Cyno's quest in English, because his jokes are so funny in English. I like the English voice actor of Cyno more than his Japanese one. It's always Rice to meet Steel again. He's so silly. I won the bet Paimon. Time to pay up. Thank you for the lurk, Valentine. You have long been in awe of Marisa's sharp wit. Thank you for the lurk souls. I'll be popping in and out. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thanks, Anna. Feels good to hit the jackpot.
なんだ、賭けをしていたのか。しかもたったの500モラとは。
500モラも負けたんだ。まさか足りないとでも言うつもりか。
わかった。なら後でデザートでもおごってやろう。実は今から仕事に行くところでな。
あれ？
いや、大したことじゃない。
なんか手伝おうか？おいらたち
なんだ、ずいぶん積極的だな。
違うぞ。
だがまあ、悪くない提案だ。スメールのついてきてくれ。
He's treating us to some desserts. How nice, how kind. I actually have like chocolate bread beside me right now. You returned home like what, 2 hours ago? English. Right. When we do Clorinda's story, we'll switch back to Japanese again. Star, hello! How are you doing? Let me give you a quick shout out before I forget. There we go. I'm drinking my coffee, yum yum. Enjoy your coffee. Get that energy. Where am I supposed to go? Oh. There we go. Entry the siren is so nice. No! You are! You in a reverse cart.
The old man flailing around?
Oh, is he the one you wanted to talk to about the case?
Correct. His name is Cyrus, a former Spontamod sage.
Yeah,
He
the
taught
Yuno
both
reverse
me
cart.
and Lisa.
Huh? Cyno's teacher is in trouble?
It's ridiculous. I'm just an old man who enjoys a spot of gardening, shopping, and wine. What sort of person targets an old retiree?
Professor, I've brought some friends.
Ah, Cyno. Now who do we have here? Hold on, let me think. A flying fairy dressed in white? A youth who does not seem to hail from this land? My goodness. You must be the legendary traveler in
Legendary.
Paimon. I've heard all about what you've done for Sumeru.
Wow, looks like we're really famous.
I've told him about you before. You are my friends, after all.
He's so sweet. Good to meet you, sir. We're here to help Cyno.
That's right. Let me summarize the situation.
I'm gonna do
A
autoplay.
couple of days ago,
I will not
Professor
skim through his
Cyrus
story because he's
suddenly
funny.
received a threat letter.
A threat letter?
Exactly. Who sends a threat letter to an old man like me, for goodness sake?
This is the letter in question.
Cyrus, I've uncovered your secret. If you wish to prevent it from going public, leave 10 million mora at the back door of the cafe.
Not the blackmail.
Secondly, don't come looking for me. You'll never find me. But I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. Finally, if you dare to report this to the Matra, there will be consequences. Wow, they sure didn't mince their words.
Clearly, this person must be desperate for Mora.
10 million,
10
damn.
million.
Imagine having that
What
money.
a joke. I'm just a single retiree.
I could
with
buy a
nothing
whole
to my
VTuber
name
model
but
with that
tomatoes in my
money.
garden. Where do people think I'm hiding 10 million mora, huh? In my tomatoes?
There were no witnesses, so currently the letter is all we've got. So, Traveler, Paimon, let's put our heads together.
Ready when you are.
Paimon's ready too.
All right, take a look. Do you see anything suspicious?
I don't know. Maybe the symbol? From Cyno's description, it sounds like the threat letter didn't come in an envelope. It was simply written on a crude piece of paper and left for Cyrus to find. I guess the paper itself?
Very good. The paper has a rather rough texture. It's not the typical kind you see in most books.
Another thing is, some of these strokes look kind of blurry. Could there be an issue with the ink?
Possibly. And I bet the paper has something to do with it.
Most of the paper around here is much smoother than this, and the ink is absorbed quickly so it doesn't run. This paper, meanwhile, it's very coarse-grained, almost as if it's made from some sort of plant matter.
It's certainly not the same paper as we use in the academia, but the ink is nothing special. Just regular black ink that gets a blue tinge when applied to paper.
So do we think the culprit has a connection with the academia or not? Wait, check this out! Looks like this part got wet at some point.
Agreed. The staining suggests it was a colored liquid, not plain water. It also looks like it was wiped off with a damp cloth.
A colored liquid, so... tea? Wine?
Looks like we're thinking along similar lines. Let's go talk to Araf. There are some things I'll need him to take care of.
Alright.
Settle down.
Oh, that was not my intention.
Araf. Ah, there he is.
Mahamatra Cyno. Sir Cyrus. Ah, and the Traveler and Paimon. It's been a while.
Cyno briefs Araf on the case.
As such, I'm inclined to believe that the culprit in this case is a student at the academia. Somebody young and strapped for cash. Oh, one last thing. I'd start your investigation by taking a look at the cafes in the city.
Oh, of course! You think the culprit spilled their coffee on the ladder, huh?
They do look like coffee stains to me. Also, if I'm not mistaken, the letter is written on a type of scented paper that has aromatics added during the manufacturing process. The kind often provided as writing material for customers in cafes and taverns.
Ah, of course. Yes, like they sell in the gift shops. I remember now. Zaha Hadi bought some a while back. She said she was going to use it as wrapping paper for a vase.
Understood. I'll assemble a team to investigate the points of interest immediately.
You have my gratitude.
One last thing. Send some Matra to guard the entrances and exits of Sumeru City. And change into plain clothes. Don't let them see you coming.
Will do.
Great thinking, Cyno. So, where do we think the culprit's at right now?
I doubt they'd go back to the cafe.
Yeah, they've probably been lying low at home waiting to see how Cyrus reacts.
You're right, Paimon.
Really? Which part?
The culprit's approach. Whatever happens, they need this Mora. But just because they warned Professor Cyrus not to go to the Matra, doesn't mean they know what he'll do next. So, like you said, they need to wait and see. And crucially, the culprit said they'd be watching the Professor's every move.
Huh? Wait, are you saying...
Found you!
Oh,
What are you doing?
You wrote the threat letter!
I don't know what you're talking about. What threat letter?
I sensed someone was watching us from the shadows the moment we entered the House of Dana. You managed to stay relatively well hidden for someone reckless enough to threaten Professor Cyrus. There are a lot of people here, but we were looking specifically for Araf. Whoever followed us the whole way was likely to be the culprit.
I was just listening in, that's all. You know something big's going down when Mahamatra Cyno shows up, right? So I got a little curious. What's the big deal?
You smiled when Araf left. I saw it as clear as day.
Is smiling a crime now?
There are coffee stains on the letter. You mixed some coffee with water, gently smeared it onto the paper, then wiped it off with a wet cloth, all to create the impression that the letter was written at a cafe. Closing off the exits to the city doesn't affect you, because you already live here. And as long as the Matra were focused on the cafes, you would be free from scrutiny. The cafe was a red herring all along. You had to be somewhere where you could monitor the professor's movements.
You can't pin this on me. I haven't done anything.
Really? Then why are you shaking like a leaf? The innocent have no reason to fear the Matra. But you, your heart's racing, and your eyelids are twitching. You're a terrible liar.
I would never.
Don't try anything or you'll pay the price. Now come with me.
Big fan of the voice
over
actor.
quickly,
Cyno's voice actor is so great.
You're telling me. One minute I go out for a quick smoke, the next minute I see Arav already on his way back to meet up with Cyno. Looked like a young guy, too. Couldn't have been much more than 30. But after what he's done, I'm afraid he's ruined his whole future.
Everyone, it's all over.
Gosh, that was so fast.
The culprit's name is Uraka, a 16-year-old student in the Ratawe Star Show.
16.
Huh?
16? Cyrus thought he was 30-something.
We checked his records. He's 16, a third-year student.
But he looks so old.
Yeah, seriously.
Foolish child. He's too young for the criminal life. What the devil drove him down this path?
We questioned the culprit regarding his motives. He,
Oh, just spit it out. Nothing can surprise me at this point.
Very well. It's our understanding that Uraka is a mediocre student who has been underperforming in his classes. He started taking extra tutoring to improve his grades, but developed a gambling habit around the same time and lost a lot of mora. Down on his luck, he went to the tavern for a drink and overheard some people chatting about Sir Cyrus's comfortable retirement. They mentioned that he's always arguing about his tomato plants with some old woman on the street.
Some old woman on the street? Goodness gracious. Has that rascal attended a single one of his classes? That old woman is Kasharwar's very own professor, Zaha Hadi. How can he not know who Zaha Hadi is?
Is this going somewhere?
Oh, right, yes. So another thing. We don't just argue about tomato plants. And what are they trying to insinuate by comfortable retirement? A man grows a few vegetables and suddenly he's living a life of luxury?
Maybe it's more the fact that you have the time to grow vegetables in the first place.
Uraka mentioned he'd heard a rumor, alleging that Sir Cyrus illegally obtained a large sum of money from the desert before retiring, and kept it for himself instead of reporting it to the academia. Uraka believes this money to be the reason why Sir Cyrus hasn't kept up with any academic research or other projects since his retirement. And given your advanced age, he thought you'd be an easy target to
Say
blackmail.
hello.
Oh,
How are you
Uraka.
doing?
I'm at a loss for words. I'm so angry I don't know where to start.
People make up rumors all the time. I am quite confident that Professor Cyrus has never embezzled a mora in his life.
Arav, you'll have to find some excuse to interrogate Uraka again later.
Impact.
I need you to deliver a few firm
Genshin
fistfuls to him
Impact,
on my
yes.
behalf.
I completely understand how you
I
feel, Sir
kind of want
Cyrus,
to finish
but I'm
all the
afraid that
side
course of action
stories.
goes against the Matra's principles.
I can addict the mustache
Professor,
from Cyrus.
there's no need to be
So
childish
funny.
about this.
Oh, come on. I was clearly joking.
It's a fancy mustache. I gotta say, gotta
Okay.
admit.
Where does this go from here?
The academia will determine the appropriate disciplinary action against the student. And as for the individuals spreading rumors
Very
about the
fancy
professor's obsession with
indeed.
tomatoes and some old woman on the street, there could be a slander case here.
Who said I'm obsessed with some old woman on the street? Mind your wording or you'll start a whole new rumor. You seem confused. Oh, Don't you understand?
Oh, by the way,
Araka is
I
just a
made
young
the
boy
English
who
voice
made a
acting
very
for
rash and
Cyno's
very
quest
stupid decision
because I really
based
like
on some
Cyno's
groundless rumor he
English
heard.
voice actor.
Besides, I didn't actually hand
But
over
we'll switch
any
to
lore
Japanese
to him.
again
The whole
once
thing sounds a
we
lot
start
worse than it
clearing
is.
the
All it
her
costs me
quest.
is a little reputational damage. That's all.
Please rest assured, Professor, that the Academia will issue a fair and reasonable punishment.
Yes, I have no doubt about that. But as a former educator, I'd still like to have a serious conversation with the boy's parents. The family
Isn't
lives
it
in the city,
Eva
yes?
voicing FKR
Correct.
the first time?
We looked into the family. Both parents are merchants and they're
Oh, for
often
the
away
first
on
time.
business.
Yeah.
They've
For the
never
first
taken
time?
much of an active role
That's
in their children's
crazy.
lives.
Oh, what a mess. You don't have to seal the evidence away yet, do you? I'd like to have that letter back for the time
He
being, if
did
possible.
talk
I need something
before
concrete for when I
in
talk
another
to the
Arcane
family
quest.
tonight.
Now the
We'll
addiction
have to
starts
show them
again?
how
No,
serious
it's
the
not an
situation is.
addiction. I
The
just want to
relevant
finish
authorities have
the
already
side
reviewed the evidence
quests
and are now discussing Araka's
from
punishment.
Cyno and Clorinda, and
You
after
can hold
that,
on to the letter
I'll
for
probably
now.
take like a
Just make
4-week
sure to
break
return it
again.
within a couple of days.
You actually read the story?
Oh,
Yes.
So you'll be able to
Um,
close the case in 2 days.
exactly the nice job
Give
he
or
did.
take.
So
Cases like
I
this are quick
mainly
to
play
resolve.
Genshin Impact or like any other story
Very good.
games for the
Thank
story
you for all
itself.
your help.
Not really interested in the
We can all
combat.
go for a meal
So
together.
usually whenever there's like a new
Oh,
patch of a new
treat, of
story
course.
with voice
My
acting,
apologies,
I would
Sir Cyrus,
play that.
but I have a prior commitment. Enjoy the meal, everyone.
Ah, I see. Well, that's a pity. But Cyno,
I
you
love
have
good
to come. You
stories.
found the culprit at record speed, and I owe you for that.
Only voice acting? Yeah. Alright,
Ah,
so
and isn't
not
Tainari
only,
in
let's
town at the
say
moment?
the long
Bring him along,
ones
too.
were interesting
Hey,
without
you mean
voice
Tainari's in
acting.
the
Or,
city?
I usually play
He
them
is.
as well.
Tainari's master,
You
Sir
missed the
Nephis,
amazing
called him and
Melusine
Kale
quest.
to the
Oh no,
Academia to help out on the
I'm still in the
project.
middle of it.
They should be at Nephis's
I'm still in the middle
office
of
at
it. I
this
do
hour.
read the Melusine one
Though
though.
I must say,
Uh,
I'm surprised you're
the
extending
stories
an
I
invitation
didn't
to Tainari.
skip
Did you do something
was
to
the one
offend Sir
from
Nephis?
Rue in Inazuma.
Don't be outrageous. Nephis
Um,
offends me all the time.
the
Never
Shrine
the other way
Maiden
around.
one in
Anyway,
Inazuma.
hurry up and
The
fetch
Aranara
Tainari. I'll
Aranara
head over to the
quests
tavern with the
in
traveler and
Zumaru.
Paimon.
They weren't
See you there.
skipped. You should
Go
check
on
out the
now.
story for
Don't
Reverse
keep us
1999. Has a great story. I do play it on my phone. No, let's say I used to play it on my phone. I don't play it anymore because I can't keep I can't keep up with everything. Side event stories can be a bit big hit or miss. I get that. It's the same with Genshin. I feel like the side stories in Genshin Impact, the Inazuma one especially, were better than the main story. I think Inazuma's main story was so boring, but then the side stories, these are amazing. Let me just teleport. Kale!
Not to brag, but we
Tainari.
never had problems like this at Ratawa His back when I was still teaching. And if you don't want to take my word for it, you can ask them. They were students at the time. They'll tell you what it was like, won't they?
I was out in the forest.
It's like the
at least
Inazuma
4
main story
days a
was
week
arc
back
and
then,
sad, arc
thanks
and
to a
shudder, and people
colossal
suffered.
workload
Yeah,
from Master.
I didn't like
It
it.
wrought havoc on my poor tail, so I didn't exactly keep
But
up to date with what was going on
the
at the
side
Academia.
stories,
Most of what I know,
the
I
world
heard from
quests
Cyno
with
after the
Rue,
fact.
Professor's become a
sacrificing,
lot more
and
laid
like
back in his retirement.
time loop and stuff
He
was
used
pretty
to be far
interesting.
stricter, and was
And the Shrine
especially known for
Maiden
being extremely principled.
was pretty good.
Wow. It's hard enough to stay true to your principles as a normal person. I can't imagine doing that as a sage.
It's a pity Kale wasn't around at the time.
Sumo was
I would have
heartbreaking.
happily
I
taken her
agree.
on as a student.
I still feel bad for
And then we'd
Nahida.
have one
I
more
love her so
person who has to
much.
address Lisa as upper class woman.
Really? Can't you just call her Lisa? She seems to prefer it when people treat her like an older sister.
Fontaine no
Oh,
Clue.
me.
Fontaine story is
Back when she
so
was a
good.
student,
I think it's
nothing
even
made
better
her
than the
happier than
Sumeru
the
one.
younger
It's
students
really good.
acknowledging her seniority.
I can't wait
what's
for the
Are you sure about this?
next
Whatever.
nation, which is how's it called? Netland?
Don't worry
Netland
about
story.
it.
I'm
Call it
so
whatever you
excited for
like.
it.
And if
We'll
it's not
definitely
enough,
like binge play
order
it
some
once it
more.
get released.
After all your help today, treating you to dinner is the least I can do.
I thought I heard some familiar voices. Ah, and Sir
Kave!
Cyrus is here as well.
My husband.
Oh, Kave, it's been a while. Zahahadi was talking about you last month.
Kave is a favorite character in the whole
I've
game
been
in
all
Genshin
right, thank
Impact.
you. You're looking very well, sir. I'm glad to see it.
Have you eaten yet?
Netland
Care to
pyro
join
thing's gonna get
us?
hot and spicy. Exactly.
That's awfully kind
So
of
excited
you,
for
but I
it.
had a late lunch, so I'm not really hungry just yet. I'll have dinner a little bit later tonight. I just came to Lombard's to buy some wine, and when I heard some
Where is
voices
your husband's
I recognized,
boyfriend?
thought
I don't
I'd
know
come
where
and
he
say hello.
is.
So what's the
Might
occasion
drop by
anyway?
soon.
Some sort of celebration?
Consolation, more like. You wouldn't believe the day I've had.
Sounds like things have really gone downhill since I was there.
Star, thank you
My
for the
whole
lyric.
time
I
as a
appreciate
student, I've never
it.
heard of anything
Well, I'm
remotely like
soon
that.
maxing on Toontown.
believe how young the
Enjoy!
What are his parents going to think?
Young people are always more susceptible to making rash and ill-advised decisions.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
Their minds are still developing. It's just an unfortunate fact of life. But still, this boy has some nerve. Just look at what he wrote. Oh, it makes my blood boil.
Wow, yeah. Jeez.
I will always be watching you and all of your secrets. And then he just followed you into the house of Dana?
If this were my son, he'd get the scolding of a lifetime. Oh.
Luckily, I'm also an extremely principled person.
Kave! Your order's ready, sir!
Coming. I'll have to get going. Have a nice evening, everyone.
Oh,
Catch you
when
all another time.
Kave got like a drip market, right? Like when his drip marketing got released,
Here I am.
most
Coffee
people
beans
thought
over
he
here
would be
too.
a 5-star. And so did I. I was so upset
Yep. it's
when
all right.
when he came out
I'll
as a
stop
4-star.
babbling.
I was sobbing. I was
Let's eat
so
before
upset.
the food gets cold.
The whole group is like, let's be 5 stars and don't tell Kave. God.
Oh, too tasty.
Wait, he's a
My
4-star?
belly's
Yeah,
about
he
to
is.
explode.
It's
Oh,
upsetting.
mine too.
Also, he has a 5-star.
I'll have
Yeah,
to walk
right.
home to burn some of it off.
He looks like one. I wish he
Thanks
was
for dinner,
one.
Sir Cyrus. Master Tainari and I will bring you some homemade herbal tea next time. It'll do wonders for your sleep.
Well, I look forward to that. In fact, could I trouble you to bring a little extra for the other old folks on my street? I'll
Yes, you
be
can
the
see 6 of
envy
them.
the
Yeah,
neighborhood.
that's true. That is very true.
No problem at all. I'll pack some up and bring it over.
Thank you for treating us.
I'll see you all later. I better head home now and tend to the crops.
Good night, Professor. Don't let those tomatoes keep you up too late.
Hey, my tomatoes are serious business. I am not about to be beaten by Zahahadi. Anyway, I'll be leaving now. Don't stay up too late now, children. I bid you all a good night.
Take care. Have a safe trip home.
All right. Now, we finally have some us time.
What do you mean, us time?
Well, I was talking with Tainari and Kale, and since we all have some free time, we thought we could all go camping together. Think of it as our way of welcoming you back to Sumeru.
And Kevin and have a really big, like an old
Oh,
married
that
couple
sounds
without
fun.
even dating, right? No, actually, they are dating. Sergio, hello! How are you doing? It's been so long. How have you been? I have been great. How have you been?
Everyone, Let's meet tomorrow afternoon at the riverbank to the southeast of Gandharvaville.
I hope you've
No
been
need to
well,
bring anything.
Sergio.
We've
It's been
already
so
packed everything
long.
for the trip. Just bring your delightful selves and prepare to have some fun.
You got it! We'll be there!
Great. Then we'll see you tomorrow.
I've been so busy working 13-hour shift? That's insane. What? That's the definition of the work grind. That's insane. Please remember to take good care of yourself. Sounds super busy.
Thank you for... Ask...
Claim all. Dispatch. Alright. I do wanna do a 10 pull soon. Oh, I can do an All Haytham? All Haytham? Never mind. It's Toma. Yes, everything is good, but I tried to get back on your streams. I'm running on. Oh, that's so sweet. I actually prefer you to take care of yourself first. That's so sweet of you. But I'm glad everything is going well. I'm glad. Remember to rest well, Sergio. Seems so stressful. Bye-bye. Yeah, take care. Bye-bye. Take care. Thank you for doing hydrate and stretch. Alright, hold on. Drinking and stretching. Alright, time stretch. Rikyu, hello, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. How are you doing? Yes, get some rest. You deserve it. I agree. Until the next day at 2 p.m. Alright. Do-do-do.
Time to set off! Let's head to the south!
Camping time. I have never camped before.
We're here! Wow, you guys are ahead of the game! You set up the tents already!
I'd say
I
we're
wanna
right about on
camp
schedule,
someday. That'd be
actually.
so awesome.
We were aiming to have them set up before you arrived.
Traveler, Paimon, let's go fishing together.
I
Whatever
saw
we
some
catch, we
theory
can
on
grill for
YouTube
dinner
saying
tonight.
Arlecchino is not from Tevat. Yeah, I've seen some theories saying she's from Conria. Or like a subfamily from Conria, which is why her eyes are like
I hope I keep the
crosses
trees too.
instead of
The other
stars.
forest watchers gave me some fishing tips a little while ago. I'm really
And she has
looking
like
forward to
this
giving them a
curse, which is why her hands are like black.
I saw some very appetizing mushrooms in the area, so I gathered a few for us. I'll leave them here along with some fresh fruit.
Wow, camping with a forest watcher is the way to go! They think of everything! And even if they don't, they can improvise!
And this is true. I don't think I've ever had a single rough day in this forest.
Hi, hello,
So,
how are you
how has everything
doing?
been going
Let
for
me
you?
give you a quick shout out. How
There's
are
been some high
you?
points and low points, but we've had some unforgettable
Shout out
experiences
to
along the way.
Pi.
I see.
There we go. Go follow
Well, in that
Pi.
case, you should try a Valberry.
No, go follow
I bought
Cake.
some from the
Go
market
follow
this morning.
Cake.
A
And Gunyam doing good
valuable
too. Thank you for
suggestion.
asking.
Just don't
How has your day
bury your
been? I
feelings
saw on
using
Fury
food.
saying she's the
All I
reincarnation of the
wanted
Green
was to
Moon
recommend
goddess.
something bittersweet.
Oh, that's so interesting. I have not seen that one
I
yet.
have a sudden craving for fruit tea.
There's been fun.
gonna
I'm
go fetch some
glad.
stuff. Bye!
I'm glad your day has been fine.
She
How
sure
was
made a
your
run for it.
stream yesterday? I know I sticked around for like these 2 horror short movies.
Unbelievable.
But I was
She
playing
made a
some
run for
games,
it.
so I went earlier
So
in the
Kale
plan.
chose the path of
Zena,
tactical
hello! Zena, how are you
Could it be she
doing?
foresaw what shall soon come to pass?
Oh.
My dear friend, you know what I am about to say.
It's genius invocation time.
Excellent! A kindred spirit. A great warrior can sense when
He's
a duel
so
is nigh.
silly. The box short movie was so
But
good though.
it looks like
Right?
we'll get told
This
off
is
if we
one
start
of my
playing
like
now.
favorite
Let's enjoy the nature for
horror
a
short
while
horror
longer.
movies. It doesn't have any jump scares. Like I dislike jump scares with a passion. And because it didn't have one but still explained the story in a creepy way, made it so much better. I just woke up and I'm good. Yeah, I expected that. I texted you but you never responded, so I was like, yeah, she's probably asleep. Same? Yeah, I feel you for real. Yeah, I don't know. I enjoy psychological horror so much. I love good stories, good horror stories, but I hate jump scares. As long as it's a good story, I'm in. We're tripping away the soothing sound of running waters. This is nice. No agenda, just relax and enjoy myself. You would have waked me up because then that wasn't a good idea. I didn't know. Same, Jesse. Yeah, but no. You should have told me sooner. I would have woken you up.
I'll wheel it
I
in.
got home at like 4 p.m. around that time.
Firewood, spices, snacks, and drinks. Everything's ready. Once Kale gets back, we can light up the fire and start grilling.
I slept for almost 6 hours. You did? What? Girl. Oh, thank you for DMing Stretch. Let me stretch. Alright, there we go. Why did you sleep for so long? Did you not go to school today? Just nice to go camping with friends. I've never camped before. I wish.
There are 3 tents. Which one do you two want to take?
How about the one on the left?
Sumshi, hello, card army attack. Give me all these cats. They're so cute. Whatever Paimon says.
Paimon just thinks the ambiance here is a little better.
True.
I got
But
home
it's
early
also
and
the
I slept
closest to the
2
water.
to 3
If
hours
there
at
are any
night for the whole
sleepwalking
week, so I
fungi
was pretty
around tonight,
tired.
they might stumble into your tent.
Yeah, that's because you keep taking naps
that's no
in
good.
midday.
Take my weapon. You can use it to
You
bar the
basically
entrance.
like
Anyone
slept
would
more
think you
than
were
you slept at
sealing the
night. You
gates to
napped
King
more than you
Deshret's
usually sleep.
mausoleum.
Sumshi, how are you
Excellent.
doing?
Then this tent will be an
Oh my god,
impenetrable
voice crack, how are
fortress.
you doing?
I'm back. How's your appetites? Ready for the barbecue?
Always.
Me doing good, what about you? I am doing good too, thank you for asking.
Oh, it smells so good. Paimon's
Today I had a
food.
really rough day. I had
Someone
school
sure is desperate to eat.
until 3:30
I think it's
p.m.
time to add the seasoning.
Really painful.
How do you like your skewers? Well done? Medium? Rare?
Wait, what?
But I'm glad
Isn't that
you're
just
doing
for
good.
steaks?
I'm glad.
Hey, if it works for steak, maybe it works for other things
Ew.
too.
That's fine.
Medium well for me.
I used to
Okay,
have
these are about ready
school
now, then.
until
It'll be a few more minutes for anyone who wants theirs
4:30
well done.
p.m. But thank God I don't anymore. I used to go to the photography class to get like a better grade, right? But nah, I signed. I just left. I couldn't do more classes.
Oh, that was so delicious. If Paimon's stomach had space, she'd eat 3 more skewers.
Oh, I love
I
skewers.
ate a lot
I want to
too.
eat them too.
Here comes the food coma.
If you're tired, then go rest.
You must be getting sleepy too, Paimon. Why don't you guys head to your tents? Cyno and I will clean up.
Tonight, I show you mercy. Our sacred duel will take place another day.
Card games.
Good night.
Paimon's struggling to keep her eyes open.
Oh, don't forget this. The Staff of the Scarlet Sands.
Wait, you were actually being serious about that?
It's a very powerful weapon. Try it.
His signature weapon.
Paimon can't even lift that thing.
Fair enough. You sure you don't want it?
Yeah, Paimon's sure. We'll be fine. And even if we do get an uninvited guest in the night, Paimon will be here to take care of the traveler.
Oh, the how's it called? The Dull Blade. A divine artifact, slayer of countless vile monsters.
That reminds me of a parting king of invocations. I'll tell you about it tomorrow. But right now,
He's such a big
it's time to
fanboy
rest. Sleep well and sweet
of
dreams.
Invocation Genius Thingy. Awesome, she redeeming ad time. Alright, sure, ad time. Y'all going to ad jail. Give me a sec to set it up. I'll see you guys. Have fun in the ads. There we go.
I think they should all be here. Traveler, Paimon, are you in there? Could you come outside for a sec?
Look at this.
I have promise I don't even see it. Lucky you. With ad block off.
What's this sword doing
You're
here?
so mean.
Is it supposed
The
to
rest of my
keep out
community doesn't
intruders?
have that. God damn it.
Huh? Who is it? Oh,
Kaveh and Halfim. Halfim. His voice, I
Paimon's gonna
recognize
take out
them.
the sword. Yeah!
I'm going back to sleep.
Oh, hey them, Kaveh! What are you doing
Thank you
here?
for
It's the
lurking, I
middle of the
appreciate it,
night.
Samshi. Oh, why'd they come all the way out here?
Sorry to wake you up at this hour of the night, but we've got a situation on our hands.
Let's get dressed and talk about it outside.
Hello, Jesse, I have to go, but I wish I could stream everybody. Thank you, Arvirius! Take care of yourself! Thank you for dropping by! I appreciate
Something has
it.
come up. And since it pertains to Cyrus and Cyno, I deemed it essential to inform
See
you
ya,
all.
see ya, see ya, bye
Whoa,
bye!
whoa, back up. Let's start from
Take
the beginning.
care, take care. Bono, you're still here? Thank you for letting me hydrate, Bono. Right, I'm gonna drink.
Huh? Where'd the wine cups go? I
Yep.
could have sworn I left them here after I washed them. Ah, there they are.
I'll have a cup too.
Can you see if the cookies are still on the table?
I forgot. Shout out. Bono, shout out. Hold on. How could I? Shout out to Bono and shout out to Furious too. Oh my god, I forgot. Go follow my mod. Go follow Bono. He's so sweet. And go follow Furious as well. Also a kind soul. Of course, Bono. We're having a collab on
They are,
Sunday.
and
So
so are the
excited.
fruits.
I'm ready to strangle you to death.
Oh, this is so bland. I should have gotten a few bottles of what Cyno's group was drinking last night.
Do tell. What were they drinking?
Oh, right, I forgot to mention. So, I ran into Cyrus yesterday evening.
The husbands
when
are
I went
talking.
to the tavern to pick up some things. He was hosting a dinner for
The
Cyno,
boyfriends. I will
Tainari,
push you off
Kale,
the
and the
map.
Traveler and Paimon.
I will
Anyway, they got a
ban
bottle
you.
of Lombard's new vintage for the table. At least I think that's what it was. It looked pretty good.
Sounds like they're all tangled up in this.
You know what
No.
it's about, right?
Yar.
16-year-old kid tried to extort Cyrus. He was asking for 10 million mora.
I heard some people talking about it on the streets, yes. Didn't take them long to catch the culprit. The sages are probably dealing with the case by now.
I wonder what Sir Nephis and the others will make of it.
Nor I'd win.
Oh,
You
Cyrus
sure
showed me
about
the
that?
extortion letter too. It was crudely written, but the paper had
1v1
this
me
beautiful
in
pattern on it
League
that I've
of
never seen
Legends.
before.
I dare
Really
you.
caught my eye. Give me a sec. I'll sketch it out for you.
Yar. 1v1 me? You died twice last time.
Okay, done. Take a look.
Lies? Sure, whatever you say.
You see what I mean? I don't think I've ever seen
Liar,
writing
Jesse,
paper like this
liar.
around before. God knows where the
I don't
culprit
know what
got
you're
it
on
from.
about. I don't like liars.
Interesting.
I hate
These are all
liars.
motifs
Right, Bono?
associated with the tribes of the desert.
We don't like liars.
What? Really?
Take this, for instance. Looks like an outline of a spire, similar to the kind found on some ancient palaces. And the crisscrossing and mirroring here. I recognize that too. It bears a striking resemblance to
we
an
don't.
ancient emblem. One
Exactly.
that hasn't been
I
used in a
hate
very long time.
liars. So,
Whose emblem is
Bono,
it?
don't lie.
It's the emblem of the Temple of Silence.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I
After
would never
discussing it
lie.
with each other, we
You
both
just did?
agreed that something didn't feel right.
Thank you for redeeming posture check. Although
This
I
was a
am
long
already
way to
sitting
come from the
straight.
city. Alhaitham figured you were probably with Tainari, so Gandharvaville was our first stop. But the Forest Watchers told us that you'd gone camping. Then, just as we were heading off to the campsite, we ran into Cyno. He said he was on a supply run. We exchanged a few words, and then he ran off.
Hold on. So what's the deal with that emblem you were talking about? The Temple of Silence, you said? What is that? Should we be worried?
Something's
I
up,
did
huh?
not lie.
Give me a
Sure.
second. Let me get Kale.
So you've never heard of the Temple of Silence? Well, to put it simply, it's
Don't
an
give me the heart, I
organization
don't
that
need
has
it.
existed in Sumeru for over 1,000 years. These days, you can find a Temple
I'm
of
just
Silence
joking, by the
office in
way.
the Academia. Theoretically, it's responsible for the custody and disposal of information and documents not fit for public
Wow.
dissemination.
Emo,
At least,
what are you
that's what
on
they tell the
about?
outside world. In
Just
truth,
joking.
it's essentially a vestigial institution nowadays. There's an office with their name on it, but it's functionally obsolete. Historically speaking, the original Temple of Silence is said to have been established by Hermanubis, one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret
Sure.
and the greatest of all sages. Most of the organization's members hailed from the desert. By contrast, none of the Academia Temple's current members are from the desert region, nor do they use any
So the Temple of Silence at the Academia is just a fake? Wow.
Wow.
It's possible. The real question is, why? My guess is they're covering something up.
So, how do you know all this? Sounds like some pretty top secret stuff.
Did you forget? He did a stint as acting Grand Sage, and kept the pay raise even after he resigned.
Oh, yeah! Paimon did totally forget about that. So you took the chance to read all the top secret documents while you were acting Grand Sage, huh?
If you're
That's so
asking me whether
smart.
I familiarized myself with the documentation in my office, I would respond that that's a perfectly normal part of any job.
So much about this doesn't make sense. Why did the emblem of the Temple of Silence appear on a threat letter from an Academia student to Cyrus? The student's only 16 and doesn't have any family ties to the desert. So where could he have seen that emblem or gotten the paper?
You said you ran into Cyno, yes? Did you tell him what you've just told us?
Yep. He ran off as soon as he heard what we said.
Given that Cyrus is involved, he's probably halfway through solving the case by now. Still, we should try to catch up with him. At this hour of the night, Cyno will probably go looking for Cyrus at his current residence.
If the Academia's Temple of Silence really does exist just to cover up the truth, the sudden appearance of this emblem can't be good, and sure to stir up trouble. We should pay a visit to the Academia.
Yes. As the Sage of Amorta, my master ought to know the truth about their office. You can ask him to tell you what he knows. The more information we have, the better prepared we'll be for whatever happens there.
If this situation is connected to the real Temple of Silence, the emblem has to be part of a bigger conspiracy.
Kale, could I trouble you to send a message to the Core of 30? Tell them to keep an eye out for Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, you two come with me.
Oh,
We'll go.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
my headphones broke. I can't hear.
Cyrus has been living in the city lately.
Is it better?
He rented a place.
Hold on. Nope,
My
can't hear.
apologies. This heavy rain must be quite an
There we go.
inconvenience for you.
Now it's better. I was like, why couldn't hear anything? I was like, oh, my headphones.
Then let's go look for.
Here we are. This is the place.
We might be too late. Looks like nobody's home. Oh, Cyno moves fast. If he was here, he's probably long gone by now.
I know that voice. Is that Tainari I hear?
It is.
Ah! Professor Zahahadi!
Wow, so it really is you. My goodness, whatever is going on tonight?
We're looking for Cyno. So, he's already been here.
Yes, not long ago, in fact. He knocked on my door and asked if I'd seen Cyrus today at all. I told him the old fool left early this morning, and I hadn't heard him come back. So we went to his place, and would you believe it? He's gone. Goodness knows where to. It must have alarmed Cyno, because he took off in an awful hurry after that. He never did explain what this was all about. How serious is it?
Well, if Cyrus isn't at home... Oh, it sure doesn't sound good.
Professor, did you hear that a student recently tried to extort Cyrus?
Why, yes. When I left the house that day, I noticed he was watering his flowers in the field in complete silence. He had a piece of paper clutched in his hand, and he looked lost in thought. I could tell something was troubling him, but he wouldn't tell me what it was. If Cyno hadn't happened to visit him that day, he'd probably still be holding on to that thing. After seeing the letter, Cyno told him to contact the Core of 30, but Cyrus was very reluctant. He claimed it would only damage his reputation. Eventually, he relented, after much persuasion from Cyno.
Huh? Cyrus didn't want to report it? Well, that's strange. When we saw him, he seemed pretty okay with the idea of the kid getting his just desserts.
As a former sage, it's possible Cyrus still has enemies at the Academia. That's why Cyno was so insistent that he report the matter to the authorities. I was there while they were going back and forth over it.
So Cyrus initially hoped to stop this from going public. But why?
He only reported it because Cyno forced him to, which means Cyrus must know something about the Temple of Silence.
Oh, dear. What on earth has that old fool gotten himself wrapped up in? Oh, I do hope he's not in danger. Oh, I almost forgot. Cyno left me this letter to pass on to you. He wrote it when he came by earlier. He realized you might come looking for him.
Thank you.
What does it say? Let Paimon take a look.
My friends, this is a rather complicated state of affair. Unfortunately, I cannot disclose more than that. I ask you to understand and accept that I had to act alone at this stage. Don't come after me.
My friends,
Oh.
this is a rather...
Yep, that sounds like Cyno. Thank you, Professor. Please do not worry. We will do all we can to protect both Cyno and Cyrus. Traveler, Paimon, let's head to the Academia and regroup.
I guess I'll teleport. Pretty lazy. I wish we could have more stamina in
You're
Genshin
here?
Impact.
I thought you were going after. Ah, I guess you lost their trail.
We went to Cyrus's house. No one was there. Cyno got there before us, but he was long gone by the time we arrived.
He didn't say where he was going?
No, he left us a letter and told us not to go after him.
10 other shares that you learned from Zaha Hadid.
Can't say I'm surprised.
Typical Cyno. Anyway, some updates on progress on our end. I drew the emblem from memory again, but in more detail this time.
Oh.
I checked some ancient texts for a similar design. The one I found was a little blurry, but the similarities in the general form and certain details were clear enough to confirm a match.
Yeah, and we're lucky we found anything at all. It turns out the emblem was all but lost to history. We scoured the entire Academia collection, and that book was the only one with a record of the motif.
Meanwhile, Arav managed to get Uraka to disclose his source. The one who told him about Cyrus's embezzled funds was a young man from the desert. According to Uraka, he had a striking presence and was well educated.
Apparently, the two met in the tavern over a game of cards. The guy claimed to be in the city for business as part of a merchant caravan. Uraka was intrigued when he heard what his new acquaintance had to say and brought up the idea of extorting Cyrus for Mora. The guy encouraged him to go ahead with it, then handed him some pen and paper to write the letter.
I see. So it could be that this person planted the paper intentionally.
So, how do we find this guy? Did Uraka say where he is?
He doesn't know. He claims not to have seen him since that day in the tavern. The man gave him some tips on how to carry out the extortion, but from then on, Uraka was acting alone.
Nephis and Arav have gone to meet the Core of 30 and review the city's entry and exit records. Also, Nephis admitted that the Temple of Silence in the Academia is just a facade. The true Temple of Silence once came to the rainforest to establish a collaboration with the Academia. But, as time went by, the sages gradually became corrupt and foolish. The Temple of Silence felt that they could no longer trust the Academia and ended the partnership. Ever since its inception, the Temple of Silence has been the guardians of King Deshret's civilization and belief system. They traveled throughout Sumeru, sequestering and guarding any wisdom that posed a threat to the people's livelihoods. At its roots, it was a legitimate and reputable organization whose purpose was to guide people towards the right path.
The Academia of the day knew that the split would damage their reputation if it became a matter of public knowledge.
Actually,
So,
I have some
they
tackies
set up
here.
a dummy organization of their own to
Oh
conceal
no,
the
my headphones
truth.
broke again.
Not only that, but
Why?
they managed to keep up the charade for hundreds of years.
There we go.
So how did Cyrus become acquainted with the true Temple of Silence if they left centuries
I'm
ago?
so glad they
That's the
said
question that
tackies, like
bothered
they sold
Cyno.
tackies.
Probably why he went after
Because I
him
love
in
them.
such a rush.
So good.
Whoever is behind this, getting Uraka to extort Cyrus was only the first step of the plan. Their true goal in doing so was for Cyrus to see the emblem on the letter.
He must have recognized it right away. That'll be why he didn't want to involve the authorities. He probably hoped to take care of the whole thing by himself. Unfortunately for him, Cyno had other plans.
Since the desert is where the Temple of Silence originated, that is in all likelihood where Cyrus went.
I have to go after him.
Really? Are you sure that's a good idea, with how you respond to the heat? Why don't we send someone else?
I should be fine, as long as I bring plenty of water. Besides, I just can't shake this ominous feeling that if we don't catch up to them soon...
Everyone, I have news from the Core of 30.
Master!
Oh, so that's Nafis, Tainari's master? Oh, we're finally getting to meet him in person.
Hello.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Traveler in Paimon. Several
He looks like a
independent
nerd with
eyewitnesses
these
have
big
reported
ass
seeing
glasses.
Cyrus and Mahamatra Cyno leaving the city at different times. Both were heading in the direction of Caravan Rebot. I was going to suggest that you join forces with the Corps of 30 in this case. However, as I'm sure you've already heard from Alhaitham and Kaveh, the Temple of Silence is involved. The Academia has made a number of decisions throughout history that I am ashamed to talk about. It may well be that no better choice was available to them, but those actions are nonetheless a stain on our legacy. I won't attempt to make you understand the Academia's perspective. Now is the time for action.
I understand where you're coming from, Master. But I'm afraid the situation might be more complicated than we thought. I think we need to keep a low profile, or risk making things worse.
Good point. If Cyrus is involved with the other side, or worse, if he's fallen into their hands, and... Everyone, we have to get Cyrus and Cyno back safely. We cannot afford to lose them.
Need our help? Whatever you need, we got you covered.
Really? Wonderful. You have my most sincere gratitude. Arav and I will continue to follow up on the lead from Uraka. Kaveh, Scribe Alhaitham, I'd like to ask you to cover the duties of the House of Dana. Tainari, you are planning to go into the desert, correct?
I am. Kaveh, I'll be okay. You stay behind to help Master and Alhaitham.
Well, if you're sure. Okay. But be careful.
Thank you all. Arav, let's go.
You'd better
I
get
think it's so
moving.
sweet that
Don't forget to
Tainari
ask
wants
for
to
help
go
when
to
you
the
need it.
desert and find Cyno.
Will
Even
do. Let's go, Tainari.
knowing that
Hopefully we can
Tainari's
catch
really
up with
bad
Cyno
with the
before
heat in
it's
the
too late.
desert.
Knowing him, he's probably covered a fair distance already, but we still have a shot. Let's take it.
Okay, we made it to Caravan Ribat. Where should we go next? Maybe we should ask the nearby guards if they've seen anything.
Hold on. Look over there.
Is that Dia?
Oh, Dia and
You
how
sure
was the
you
name
wanna
again?
brave the
Candace?
desert alone? I mean, it's your choice at the end of the day, but still.
It's not my first time. I'll be fine.
Cyno.
If you're really going to go through with this, then at least take our advice. When you're packing for your trip, budget for 5 days more than you plan to spend out there.
Makes sense. Okay, I'll go get ready.
Thought we might find you here. You're trying to retrace Cyrus's steps, aren't you?
Didn't I tell you not to come after me? I thought I had a good lead on you.
Well, sorry, but we never agreed to that. Why would you go off on your own like this?
Nothing personal. It's just a complex situation. And I'd rather not involve anyone else if I can help it.
Takes a special kind of person to get Cyno chasing them all the way out to Caravan Rebot. But why so coy today, huh? You only gave us his age and description. Why can't you reveal his name? Is he Sumeru's most wanted or something? Oh, also, hey guys, it's been a while.
Dia and Candace! So nice to see you. Actually, seeing all of our friends is the whole reason we're here.
You're looking well. Glad to see it.
Thanks.
Candace and I came to Caravan Rebot on business. We ran into Cyno as he was asking about some elderly gentleman's whereabouts. Some people say they saw him. Guess he stood out as an older guy heading into the desert alone with just a sumpter beast in tow and very few supplies. That's gotta be one heck of a story there.
Cyno, it's okay if you can't tell us anything about the case, but let us know how we can support you. We're here to help however you need. The more people we have working on this, the quicker we'll be able to find the person you seek.
No, it's not that simple. If I'm right, he'll be doing everything he can to avoid us.
We spoke with Zaha Hadid. From what she said, it's pretty clear that he wants to try and solve this on his own. It won't be easy trying to find him in the desert when he's deliberately trying to cover his tracks.
Sounds like this is far more complex than we imagined.
Still, if he started from Caravan Rebot, the chances are that his route took him past our village. You may as well ask if anyone there has seen him.
My thanks to you both. Once this is resolved, I will find a way to repay you.
Ah, come on. No need to get all serious. Just buy a round of drinks next time we're all in the city or something.
That's a deal.
All right, so, you all set?
Yes, we'll handle it from here. Thank you again for your help. I don't take it for granted.
Shiloh,
Alright,
hello, how are you
we'll leave you to
doing?
it. Just remember, if you change your mind and need some reinforcements, we'll be here.
And don't think you'd be imposing. You can depend on us.
Don't worry, we'll keep him out of trouble.
I'm good but sick as hell. Oh no, did you catch a cold? Hope you get better soon. Oh no.
Hold on. There's a few things I'd like to clear up.
Wishing you a
So,
fast recovery.
after you left the campsite,
Shiloh.
we had a longer talk.
Clearly, we've only scratched the surface of
What
the
did you
Temple
do
of
today?
Silence
Sorry, I
question.
keep drinking because the
It
Takis
doesn't
are so
surprise me at all
spicy.
that the one in the academia is a fake.
Do you have any connection with
Right
the
before
Temple of
Model Week, and
Silence?
thanks. I mean, it's better
I do.
before Model Week than
I
after,
trust
or
you're
like
all
in
aware
between,
of the
you know?
spirit that gives me my power. Hermanubis, the original founder of the Temple of Silence.
Yeah.
Due to my unique constitution,
What did you do today, or do you have any
I was
plans
put
for
through a number
today?
of trials in the desert when I was younger. Later, I met the professor, and he brought me to Sumeru City. But my memory of that time is hazy. I can't recall much. It's a good thing that Kaveh noticed the emblem on the
I was
letter.
just buying Withering Waves.
Without
I
that,
see.
I don't know if we would have connected the dots.
The Wuwa grind.
and
I
realized there was
see.
more to this
I
case
see
than
that
mere
you have
extortion.
pulled for
I
Yinlin.
did not
Congrats.
recognize that symbol at all. Whether that's because I've never seen it, or because my memory fails me, it's hard to say.
It did,
you're
yeah.
right. Thank
How
goodness
is
for
she?
Kaveh, and for Al-Haytham's diligence during his time as acting Grand Sage.
But Cyrus must have recognized it right away, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't have had any qualms about you reporting it. Oh, maybe his connection to the Temple of Silence goes even deeper
She's
than yours.
good.
I
Nice.
suspect
She's
so,
very
too.
hot.
Professor has never once mentioned the Temple of Silence in conversation. And whenever the conversation turns to Hermanubis and the concept of spirit indwelling,
I'm getting a weapon too.
he
Good
avoids
luck.
going
Good luck,
into
good
any
luck.
depth.
Well,
She's
speaking
hot,
of avoiding things,
right?
you do realize,
I'm
don't
trying
you,
to
now
get
that we've caught up
Jian's
with you,
weapon right
you're
now
stuck with us for the
for
rest of the way.
Kalcharo.
I am aware. And I have accepted it. Or rather, I don't see how I could manage to ditch you en route. So, I might as well accept that you're coming with me.
That's right. Fact is, we're coming
Yeah,
with you
I
whether you
don't
like it or
have
not, so the best
a lot
option now is
though,
to try to
so
look out for each
it
other.
might take a while to get the weapon. You can't get rid of us.
Fair enough. Then at least let me buy you a drink once we're back in the city.
Works for me. All right, off we go. Let's start by seeing what the guards here can tell us.
Hello.
Mahamatra Cyno?
I'm looking for someone. So I'd like to confirm any recent foot traffic in and out of Aru village.
A man matching that description passed by Aru village not too long ago.
I'm at like
He
50
stopped by
pity.
to load up
Oh,
on
so
food and water
soon.
and
You'll
feed
get
his
her
sumpter
soon.
beast. Then he was on his way.
Where was he going?
Let me think. He took a seat by the entrance of the village for a while and had a brief chat with the person who came to deliver the water. He said he was headed somewhere near an oasis, but he didn't mention which one. Do you have a map? I can mark out the direction he was heading and the best routes to any nearby oases.
Keep up the
one.
grind, girl. You
Mark
got
away.
this.
Great. There you go.
Thank you,
Thank you
thank
so
you.
much.
I need the luck.
You were a great help.
You've got a really good memory.
Ah, you're quite welcome. Just doing my job. Best of luck. I hope you find him soon.
Alright, we teleport over here.
I cannot help but feel that you bringing me here is some sort of an assassination attempt.
Assassination attempt.
Oz, reveal.
The wind knows me.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't have put Electro on it.
Hold on. I see some people over there.
Do you think it's safe to ask them what they know?
Should be. I'll go.
No. I'll do it.
Huh? Why can't Cyno go talk to them? What difference does it make?
Given my background, appearance, and the way I dress, I might not be the most welcome visitor here. Just in case, it's probably better to let a more neutral party handle things.
Ah, hello there. I hope I'm not interrupting. My friend and I are looking for an elderly man who's gone missing around these parts. Any chance I could ask you a couple of questions?
Oh, a missing person, huh? Sure. What do you want to know?
I'm just wondering if you've seen him. Let me give you the details.
So, a silver-haired guy in a long robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes, and he's traveling alone.
He'd stand out like a sore thumb around here.
Yeah, sounds like the kind of guy we'd remember if we saw him.
He's looking behind me.
I love his character design. It's so
That
cute.
guy's looking our way.
Your friend over there stands out a lot, too. Hey, aren't you Cyno, the General Mahamatra?
Yes, that's me.
You don't seem surprised that I recognized you.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Oh, you're the one looking for the old man who's gone missing, aren't you?
I have a bad feeling about this guy.
Me too.
Someone's on edge. You don't trust me much, do you? No need to hide it. I understand why you're wary of us. Still, you came to us asking for help. Do you want it or not?
I thought you were a group of merchants. Seems I was mistaken.
Your henchmen don't look like much, but something tells me they put up a better fight than most mercenaries.
Hey, hear that, guys? You're my henchman now.
Suits me, as long as I get paid for it.
Just cut to the chase already. I'm running out of patience.
all right. Come with me. All of you.
Where are you taking us?
Don't you want to find your friend? Silver-haired, long-robe, culture type with thoughtful eyes? Sounds like there's a whole other side to Cyrus I didn't know about.
So you know where he is?
Just follow me. I'll take you to him.
His character design is so cute. I really like it. He reminds me of a like tiger. I don't know why.
And here.
What? Where are you looking? There's nothing here.
Please step back.
Ooh, something's coming out of the ground.
What is this enormous building doing here?
And how was it so well hidden? King Deshret's technology?
Wait, so... Hold on, who are you guys really?
Is this the Temple of Silence? So you're a member?
All good questions. There'll be plenty of time to address them later.
This is not what Paimon was expecting to find in the desert, especially not hidden right next to an oasis. Ooh, Paimon's scared. They must have kidnapped Cyrus. Do you think this is the guy Raka met in the tavern?
What's wrong? Thinking about your professor?
I just hope for your sake you haven't done anything you might regret.
Me too. Hope I haven't done anything to incur your wrath. All right, you can wait here for now. I'll inform our leader that you've arrived at the Temple of Silence. Sit tight until he comes to greet you.
So he's just gonna leave us here unattended? Maybe we're not being kidnapped after all.
They can't have been at the oasis by chance. They were waiting for us. Whoever the leader is here, they were obviously counting on us showing up.
So this is the Temple of Silence. After leaving the rainforest, they hid themselves here?
I can't believe ancient Egypt plagiarized from Genshin Impact.
Don't worry.
I can't believe it
call me
either.
Paul
How
for you
dare
soon.
they?
What's your name?
Please, at least tell us what to call you.
Sorry, guess I was so delighted to see you, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Sethos. I'll be here if you need me, but I'm not planning on answering all of your questions. Other than that, you can occupy yourselves however you see fit.
His character design is so cute.
We're free to explore by ourselves.
Yep. I mean, I'm not worried about you running off. Cyrus is here. And unless I've misunderstood, you're all quite anxious to see him again.
He's right. Well, if we've got some time, we might as well take a look around.
Hey, Sethos. Have you got some time to chat?
Sure.
How goes it? It
Although,
goes
I'm
well.
assuming by chat,
I think I'm
you
almost
mean
done
you
with
have
the
questions
Cyno
for me?
quest, and after that I'll move on to Clorinda.
I don't blame you. Anyone else would.
So you got a lot of people asking you questions.
Not often. The Temple of Silence is a place of quiet and solitude. We don't get too many visitors.
That's a new character. He's called Cephas. He's really cute. Do you know Cyno?
What kind of question is that? He's the General Mahamatra. Everyone in Sumeru knows who he is.
Right, but back at the Oasis, you can't have known who he was for sure.
Teen
We wouldn't
vibes?
have
He
asked
does
him.
give me teen vibes,
What
yeah.
we're really asking
He's
is,
cute.
have you never seen him in person before?
I've lived in the desert my whole life. Guess you could say I've never had the pleasure.
Ugh, why does Paimon feel like this guy's not being straight with us?
Come on, we've only just met. If I give you all the answers up front, you'll have nothing left to look forward to.
Have you ever been to the academia?
Nope, not once.
Really?
I have no need to go there. Not when the taverns are full of the Urakas of this world. Besides, we're well aware of what goes on at that place.
Are you saying you have spies inside the city?
Spies? It's not as clandestine as that. The city gates are wide open. Anyone's free to walk in. You can find out all you need to know just by walking around town and hearing the word on the street.
You were the one who tricked Uraka, right?
Yes, that was me. Although, tricked is a stretch. He was asking everyone in the tavern about ways to make some easy money. He insisted that nothing was off the table, even if it broke the law. So, I told him that Cyrus had embezzled a large sum of mora from the desert.
So you framed Cyrus for a crime that he did not commit?
No. That's not entirely true. Let me jog your memory. The letter just said that he had uncovered Cyrus's secret. It didn't say what secret that was.
Did you tell him to use that wording?
Of course. Uraka was a great accomplice, really. Very cooperative with a little bit of wine in him. Did exactly what he was told. And not much of an original thinker, though. It doesn't surprise me that he struggles academically.
Why did Cyrus leave for the desert as soon as he received the letter?
You'll have to ask him that one yourself. Certain things I can't answer for him. I'm neither judging nor defending him. All you need to know is that he recognized our emblem, and it was his own choice to take the bait.
That's all I wanted to ask.
Mm-hmm.
He's so cute! I've been through it like 4 times already, but his design is really cute. I love his braids in the hair. The braids are great.
I never imagined that the true Temple of Silence would be hidden somewhere like this. We've passed through these parts before, but never noticed anything.
That's King Deshret's technology for you, I guess. It borders on the miraculous. Amazing to think that it's been preserved intact all this time.
We should be wary of our hosts. Still, at this point, we can be confident that the professor is safe and sound, so that's something.
Yuki, hello! How are you doing? Let me give you a quick shout out before I forget. I hope I didn't forget anyone today. Go follow Yuki! She's such a great and kind person. I'm doing alright. Got a big assignment due on Monday that was set just for me today. Oh no! Wishing you all the luck. I also have an assignment due to Wednesday, but too unbothered. I already did all my assignments this week. Can't be bothered.
Greetings, one and all.
Here to see
I
tide. No,
am
you.
Ba Moon, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. I know why you are here, and I thank you for your patience. Bring him out.
Are they held in captive?
Professor!
Cyrus, are you okay?
Ah!
Watch what you're doing!
Oh, my apologies. We have no intention of causing you distress. But you must understand.
I think I gotta sketch out a snake on an A2 canvas. The scales are gonna murder me. Oh, are you an art student?
Cyrus owes me his life.
I don't have art in my
of
class. I have like
Silence,
graphic
he owes a debt
design
of
to make up for it.
gratitude. I let him go a long
Yeah,
time
I
ago,
see.
but now
Wishing you good luck.
The time has come to demand
A
payment.
snake on an A2 canvas. That's gonna be rough.
I wanted to end my feud with this old bag of bones before you caught up with me. Just leave, Cyno. This is a matter between us two old men. You're all too young to get involved.
I take 3 courses: art, photography, and design technology.
You'd
I
made up
see.
your mind to come here from the beginning.
Alright, I
You
used to
only
have
left in such a
photography
hurry to
as
try and
well,
throw us off your trail.
but because photography lessons were until 4:30 p.m., I just dropped it. Right now I only have graphic design
Alone brought the others.
and
Cyno didn't make us do anything.
IT.
We came here for the same reason he
Fair
did.
enough,
To
yeah.
rescue you. We'd appreciate you telling us the truth. Otherwise, it seems a little unfair on everyone who had to stay behind.
My secrets are secret for good reason. Bringing them to light can only lead to misfortune.
You're afraid, aren't you? You can't bring yourself to speak of your past deeds to the students you nurtured as if they were your own children. You recognized our emblem because for many years you lived among us. Indeed, you all but became one of us. You knew as soon as you saw the letter that we, not Araka, were the ones speaking to you. It threatened you only because you know what you did. Your own guilt convicted you. For you, Cyrus, are a traitor. You once shared your learning with us, and joined us in our mission to revive the might of Hermanubis, to bring new hope, new opportunity. But then, you betrayed us. You bargained for your independence with your past contributions. And then you left, taking with you Hermanubis' might and the wielder of his power. We both know what I said to you that day. That as the leader, I grant you permission to leave, but that one day, the sands of time will catch up with you. And when that day comes, you must pay the price you owe.
You really know how to hold a grudge.
Hermanubis' might? And the wielder of his power?
Does he mean you?
I think so too.
Professor, anything to say?
The moon is right. I came here once before. He rescued me from the brink of death once, many years ago in the desert. When he learned that I was a scholar, he invited me to come here and revive the might of Hermanubis together. It was a great, daring plan, and one shrouded in secrecy. The Temple of Silence had been bereft of Hermanubis for too long. The strength of its faith and its warriors were waning. Bamoon proposed that we implant bar fragments, shards of Hermanubis, into the bodies of suitable vessels. If the experiment was successful, the spirit of Hermanubis would then dwell within the vessel. Many believers volunteered themselves for the experiment. But we soon discovered that the bodies of grown adults could not withstand Hermanubis' power. In the end, Bamoon offered his own adoptive grandson. One other child was identified as a suitable vessel, and his parents agreed to release him into our custody in exchange for a small fortune. These two children were our only hope for hosting Hermanubis' power.
For many years, the Temple of Silence had been in possession of 2 Ba fragments from Hermanubis. As remnants of his raw power, they were exceedingly rare treasures. The test subjects were sent into a room that had been prepared for the ceremony and instructed to approach the Ba fragments, whose power had been amplified. If, after some time, this power did not repel them, this would mean that they were suitable vessels. The original plan was for a 3-stage experiment: resonance, implantation, and recovery and observation. The resonance stage went quite smoothly for both candidates. As the second stage began, I realized a decision had to be made. Should we implant the fragments one at a time? This would allow us to monitor the results after the first round and adjust our plan accordingly. Or alternatively, we could implant each fragment in a different vessel at the same time and compare their effects. But as I was deliberating, both Ba fragments suddenly became active. They glowed with a light we had never seen before. I knew that if they were not implanted right away, they would disintegrate and be gone from the world for good. Our 2 vessels had both displayed great promise by successfully resonating with the fragments. Under the circumstances, the thought of implanting both fragments into the same vessel seemed out of the question. To preserve our faith and our power, we implanted each of them with a single fragment.
Ultimately, I ended the experiment and left, taking one of the children with me.
In recognition of your past contributions, I chose not to send someone to hunt down and kill you both. Your lives were spared, but I have paid a great price for your betrayal ever since. I have always wanted to see you, Cyno. Losing you and your Ba fragment dealt us a devastating blow. We've been in decline ever since you left.
I see. So that's how I gained my power.
Look, in essence, I borrowed your Ba fragment for a decade or so. And now you are seeking justice. If you want to take my life, then so be it. I'm an old man now anyway. But you cannot lift a finger against Cyno. He is the General Mahamatra. Your actions would be seen as a declaration of war against the Academia.
I'm sure you don't remember anymore, dear Cyno, but you've met us all before. You were so young then, when we all gathered around and celebrated the revival of our Lord. You and he, Sethos, you were our final hope.
You'd like me to return my power?
As a follower of Hermanubis, I have allowed this power to remain in the rainforest for far too long. Now, it is time to reclaim it.
That power is not yours to reclaim. Cyno was chosen by the gods. You cannot take what they have bestowed.
You are wrong. Cyno was chosen, but he was not the only one. My child, Sethos, has the same gift as he.
So those are your terms for freeing the professor?
Despise me all you want. My sins are my own. The Temple of Silence is an innocent party. It is because of my foolishness all those years ago that the
Tiny
temple's
man on
glory
big
has
throne.
waned.
Indeed.
And now I must take responsibility for the decision I made back then.
So what you're saying is, the power of one Ba fragment is not enough? You're asking me to return the one in my possession, so it can be implanted in him instead?
Divine power causes great suffering to those who wield it. How do you know that Sethos would be able to withstand it?
He is no longer a small child. But regardless, this burden is ours to bear, and your objections mean little given that you turned your back on us long ago.
Both my heart and mind are telling me that what you are proposing is a terrible idea. However...
Don't listen to him, Cyno. That power is no more yours to give than it is his to take. You have to understand.
I know. But if this is a question of your freedom versus a fragment of power, then... there is nothing to debate.
sorry to interrupt, but in my view, there are a number of contentions here that still need addressing. Say that Cyno refuses to return his power, and you also refuse to release Cyrus. Then, we are at an impasse. I find it hard to believe that you went to all this effort without planning for that possibility. You're trying to gauge where we stand while keeping your remaining cards close to your chest. Well, my stance is, put the rest of your cards on the table. Then we can have a discussion.
Wait, those ears. So, we have a descendant of the Valuka Shuna
So much
in our
lore is
midst.
dropping, holy.
Splendid. Fate smiles upon us after all. Everything we have longed for, Hermanubis will provide. Perhaps this very day we'll...
Is he dead?
Why is he coughing so much? He looks like he's in really bad shape.
Brown's condition is critical. I haven't written time. So I must be failing him too, otherwise he would have noticed Tanner's ears right away.
Take our leader back to his room.
Sethos, you must...
Grandfather, I know what you wish to say. Leave this in my hands. I don't like to drag out conversations, so I'll just cut to the chase. Had Cyrus not stopped the experiment all those years ago, the plan would most likely have been a success. The wisdom of Hermanubis would have been ours. Still, it's no use talking about what-ifs. We cannot change the past. I'm not like my grandfather. The Temple of Silence has a grand legacy and a sacred duty to fulfill. So it's somewhat inevitable for the leader to have an inflated sense of self. But I see things a little differently. I don't believe the temple has the same stature that it once did. Time has worn away at its prestige and changed things almost beyond recognition. So I'm not going to force your hand. You're all free to leave. Except for Cyrus. My grandfather gave him his chance once. And now I'm giving the rest of you yours.
You have courage and wise judgment, kid. Reminds me a lot of Bamoon in his younger years. I truly wish that the temple would take an objective look at the academia of today. You've been to the city yourself. I'm sure you've seen that much has changed for the better, and things will only continue to improve. Why not consider cooperating with the academia once more?
If you hadn't betrayed my grandfather, I might well be open to persuasion. But it's a bit too late for that now, Cyrus.
Tainari made a good point earlier. He said there has to be more to your plan than this, and I agree. All you and Ba Moon are after is the Ba fragment. The professor will accept whatever fate you deem fit for him out of a sense of guilt. I am the one who has a choice to make. And that's how it was always going to be. Ultimately, you want to trade the Ba fragment for the professor, correct?
I'm glad to see you're giving it some serious consideration.
I won't forsake my professor. Nor do I intend to run from a problem that I must face sooner or later. Give me one night to make my decision.
That works. Then I'll be waiting to hear your verdict. Cyno. Oh, my grandfather still has a fair few things he wants to say to Cyrus, so I'll be escorting him back now.
Are you sure about negotiating with him?
I need to think this through. Everyone, let's meet again later tonight. Until then, take some time for yourself.
Alright, well, don't put too much pressure on yourself, Cyno. If you need any help working things out, just come and find us.
I just assumed the story would go for like 1.5 hours each. But I think we're almost 2 hours in. Which is kinda crazy. 20 and 24. Ooh, it's supposed to go. Oh, there we go. My dad told me he's gonna bring me some chicken wings back home. So excited. Can't wait to eat some chicken wings.
I've taken some time to reflect on this. If I had to guess, Professor Cyrus came to the desert knowing that he would almost certainly never return. He's a stubborn man who tends to double down when he feels strongly about something. We won't get anywhere trying to convince him to escape.
I agree. My master Nephis says the same thing. Once Cyrus makes up his mind about something, he won't listen to reason.
So that's one thing. A few other things come to mind too. You've heard all you need to hear about the Temple of Silence. So on that, I don't have anything to add. My own memories of this place are hazy though. Probably something to do with the overpowering presence of the Ba fragments. That might explain why I suffered from constant headaches and fevers as a child. I do remember having some fleeting moments of profound emotion when vague images would appear in my mind. But I don't recall much, only bits and pieces. I was still young then, and all I could understand was that there was a strong will inside my mind. Thinking back on it now, I suppose it was Hermanubis' way of trying to encourage me, even if we couldn't communicate. The power that came to inhabit my spirit was probably one of the cornerstones of their whole faith. So if the will and might of Hermanubis is a real, intangible thing, and they are its rightful worshippers, then...
You're not gonna give in to their demands, are you? Surely there has to be another way.
Don't make any rash decisions, Cyno.
No. I have no intention of returning it. I need this power to protect Sumeru. But the temple has the right to make the final decision over its fate, since it belongs to one of the 7 pillars of King Deshret. So I will challenge them head-on, and win the right to wield this power for myself, fair and square.
This reminds me of something Alhaitham mentioned to me just before we left. He said that the Temple of Silence was originally founded by the ruling elite of the day. Traditionally, such organizations are bound by a strict and ancient code of nobility. Kaveh has made similar observations about the desert tribes from his work trips there. He says many of them have their own internal rules. They talk about the importance of never dishonoring their tribal bonds, or the rules laid down by their ancestors. I think we could turn that to our advantage. Go back to them with a proposal of our own.
Wow, and just like that, we've turned the tables on them.
Looks like we have the same idea. Turn it back on them now while we still can, in terms that they cannot refuse. That's how we win this.
That sounds good to me.
Great. And I know just how to start the conversation. Let's go find Sethos. We'll tell him that I know a thing or two about medicine and would like to take a look at his grandfather's condition.
We might not be able to do Yinlin's story quest today. I don't know. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe I'll do it off stream. When I feel like it, or maybe I'll try to squish in a stream of Withering Waves.
Sethos.
Have you made up your mind?
We'll get to that, but first, I have some degree of medical training, so I was wondering if you might let me take a look at your grandfather?
I have no objections, although we do have our own doctors here. I doubt you'll be able to tell us anything we don't already know.
Only one way to find out.
Follow me. Keep your voices down. We don't want to disturb him.
Sar takes out his medical kit and performs a basic medical exam for Balmon.
Let's talk outside. Bamoon has fallen into a deep coma, and his prognosis is quite grave. I'm sure that your physicians have come to the same conclusion. He appears to have sustained a serious injury in his youth, which has been exacerbated over the years by the heavy burden of work and now by the effects of old age. Regretfully, I must inform you that based on what I've seen with patients in a similar condition, he doesn't have long left. A few days at most.
Yeah. I've known for a long time.
You're his heir, aren't you? You clearly have a lot of respect for the man. But you also see things differently. You have a broader range of concerns and a more pragmatic approach. So tell me how we can end this on your terms. Let's find a way to bring all this to a resolution while Bamoon is still alive to see it. That's what really matters to you. I know it.
Yeah, there's no time to waste here. You know that better than anyone.
You know, the two of you are actually in a very similar predicament right now. Both of you have a very different perspective from the men who raised you.
Right. And you didn't create this situation. They did, but somehow you've ended up having to make the tough decisions.
You're right. We both look at this problem very differently than the people we inherited it from. I accept, Cyno. This all began because of Hermanubis. So let's end it with the rite he himself created. Legend has it that when Hermanubis first arrived in Tuletula, he sparred with the city's residents. He and his two companions proved their mettle by fighting over several days, winning the support of many fine people. That group of supporters were some of the first members of the Temple of Silence, and the sparring matches were enshrined as one of our founding rites, the rite of duels. It's where it all began.
Sounds very fitting. I'm in.
As a fellow vessel of Hermanubis, your ties to the Temple of Silence run deep. So I will permit you to participate in this rite, along with your chosen companions.
3 against 3. Sounds good.
However, I have some additional terms. As the challengers, you must win all 3 of your fights to win. And Cyno, both of us must put our Ba fragment on the line. The winner takes them both. Letting Cyrus leave with one of the Ba fragments was a mistake, made by my grandfather out of pity. It is a long-standing issue that must be addressed for the Temple of Silence to move forward. I can make no concessions on that front.
None needed. We're on the same page. If I win, the Temple of Silence must release Cyrus, and consider this past dispute resolved. If you win, I'll return my power to you.
It's a deal. Then let's meet at the ceremonial hall tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock.
Cyno's gonna win everything. He has the plot armor in his own quest. He got that plot armor. Oh, it's lagging. Is it down here? Oh, it is. Go to the temple?
Well, after how that went, there's definitely no turning back now.
There never was. Turning back hasn't been an option for me since the moment the professor slipped away to return to the desert.
You have to win. You need this power, both as General Mahamatra and for yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Besides, it stayed with you ever since you were a small child. Surely that's a sign it thinks of you as its rightful owner.
Both as General Mahamatra And for myself. Yeah, when you put it that way. I've had to overcome a lot to tame this power and claim it for myself.
Exactly.
Let's not get sidetracked. We gotta focus on winning.
The Traveler and I will never lose.
And neither shall I. The desert was home to an ancient and great civilization that, for a variety of reasons, fell out with the civilization of the rainforest. It's just as Dia said. Prejudice has pushed people apart. But there must be personal factors at work here too. I can't shake the feeling that Bamun cares for many more things than he lets on. And I don't think that Sethos is any kind of villain. He's just doing what he thinks is best. Tomorrow, everything will be resolved.
I'm kinda lost. Do I have to? Yeah, time skip. Gotcha. There we go. Kinda tired. Is it the wrong way? Oh no, never mind, I found it.
We gather on this day to perform once more the rite of duels, with the greatest of all sages, Lord Hermanubis, as our witness, for his power and authority is present in our midst. This is our most sacred of ceremonies, and no disruption from the audience shall be tolerated. It is incumbent upon all to observe the duel with the utmost respect and reverence throughout the proceedings. Representing the Temple of Silence, the Defenders.
Grandfather, you're here.
A rite of duels after all these years. I am surprised by your decision, Sethos.
I know what I'm doing, Grandfather. Just leave it to me.
Representing the Academia, the Challengers.
Oh, the poses. Look at that.
We will fight to have our voices heard.
Warriors, take your positions and decide on the order of battle. We come not to debate what brings our challengers here, nor what will become of the defeated duelists. Duelists, the might of Hermanubis himself is at stake here. Now, fight. Fight until the rightful victor is proclaimed.
I'll go first.
Are you sure?
I agree. She's very strong. Sending her out first will definitely intimidate the opposing side.
Okay, then you're second.
Sure.
We have decided.
So have we. Let's begin.
I'm gonna destroy them all.
Duelists of the first bout, please step forward.
The dull blade. Leave it to me. A cutscene?
Don't forget safety
Never
first.
mind.
Hey, you there! You better play nice with her, or Paimon will make you regret it.
Oh.
Little bit too much chatter from the audience over there.
Oh, it can make it rain. Oh, great.
Scatter!
Oh, I can't dodge.
A swift end to the first bout. I now invite the duelists of the second bout to please step forward. When you're both ready, you may begin.
Let's begin.
Let's begin.
Watch out!
Ooh. Hold on.
He drank plenty of water before the bout, so he should be fine.
I don't see their health bars. Oh. They're dead. Anyways.
Thus ends the second bout.
I'm ready.
So am I.
This is the final stage of the rite. When you're both ready.
I am Sethos, vessel of Hermanubis. For many years, we have kept our covenant with Lord Hermanubis by guarding the secrets of King Deshret. And even in our darkest hour, when we could not see a way forward, we chose not to abandon hope. We earnestly sought Lord Hermanubis' wisdom and power. Now, I will fight to become the rightful wielder of that power!
I am Cyno, General Mahamatra of the Academia, student and successor of Cyrus, the Sage of Spantamad. I fight in defense of my power, my professor, and my nation. And you. I think you left some things unsaid. This is a sacred duel, and Hermanubis is watching.
Everyone. Old, and yet my grandfather is a wise leader. He is also known to be a ruler who is not afraid to get blood on his hands. But our faith has held us back for too long. After I grew up, I went to the rainforest once, and I saw for myself the people of the city. Times have changed. The people of Sumeru are happier and more free now than in the past. Then I thought of you, Cyno. Each Ba fragment of Hermanubis stands for something different. I once thought that the nature of our fragments must be what makes us so different from one another. But maybe it's that you've found your answer.
I am more than just a warrior. I am my own person.
Exactly.
The name Hermanubis has left its mark on both. So show me your answer, Cyno. Show me I can be more than my faith.
Let the battle begin. Does that mean I have to learn dodging? Oh, no. Cutscene.
That's all you've got? What happened to searching for your answer? Fight's over. Do you yield?
You won.
Well then, looks like you found your answer.
I give his glory to you.
I've seen that light. That is the light of our Lord, the great Hermanubis, priest over all other priests. His
Seines
spirit
cutscene is so
dwells
cool.
within that lightning, and his will lives on. Once a warrior of Tynar, he emerged from the barren desert sands to serve the god king Al-Ahmar. After the death of the god king, Hermanubis gathered his followers and the Tynarian priests and led them to the city of Tule-Tula. There, they founded the Temple of Silence, and from that day forth, we became stewards of all knowledge that survived from King Deshret's civilization. Barely a century passed before war ravaged the desert. One by one, Eremite leaders took up arms against each other in battles that would devour what little remained of their civilization. Only the wise city of Tule-Tula was spared under the guiding hand of the Tynarians. But peace did not last. Coveting the knowledge of King Deshret, the beasts set their eyes on Tule-Tula. The king of Gurabad laid siege to the city and ordered the sages to surrender to him the Temple of Silence as proof of his victory. The ruling elite colluded with their oppressors, betraying the temple so as to hold on to their rule over the city. They declared that the knowledge guarded by the temple was the true cause of corruption. These were dark days, and we faced enemies on all sides. Our Lord had long since exhausted his strength, keeping the forbidden knowledge introduced by King Deshret at bay. To ensure the temple's continued survival, he broke his being into many pieces and began the ceremony of Hermanubis' legacy, bestowing his power upon his mortal followers. With this power, the temple was able to defeat the tyrant's army. Yet, we were not hailed as heroes. Strange and unfamiliar as this power was, it struck fear into the people's hearts and drove them to reject us. In the end, the people of the temple and the Tule-Tula Tynarians left the city for good and made their way to the rainforest. What followed next was inevitable. The elite of Tule-Tula fell and were decimated. War engulfed the desert. And we wandered from place to place, always in hiding, all the while keeping close watch over our secrets and staying true to our mission. Betrayal forced us out of the desert and into the forest. Then mistrust drove us from the forest into the desert once more. We have lived in exile for far, far too long. Yet, today, the Temple of Silence has borne witness to the glory of Hermanubis once more. Thank you.
That's such a great storytelling.
How is it? Do you feel okay?
Oh.
Grandfather.
Yusuf and the other members of the temple bid farewell to Baman. In the great hall, people gather around to coffin to pay their respects.
Hey, Sethos. You'll get through this.
I know. I'll miss him.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
I guess you were prepared for this. It's been a long time coming, huh?
Yeah, he's been on death's door for a very long time now. I think it was only through sheer willpower that he managed to hold on to this point. At least, he was able to see this chapter come to a close before he passed.
What's next for you?
Per my grandfather's last wishes, the Temple of Silence should submit to whoever possesses the largest number of Hermanupis fragments. That entitles you to be our new leader, Cyno.
But that's never going to work, as I'm sure you realize. I'm the General Mahamatra. I am needed back at the Academia. I did foresee this possibility, and I gave it some thought. The fact is, I know next to nothing about the staff, records, and environment here. As such, I am ill-suited to be your leader, Sethos. Were it not for this duel, or indeed if you had other intentions, the Ba fragments would most likely be in your hands by now.
You really think so?
I do.
Still, I didn't think Bamoon looked very surprised by the final result. Perhaps he had an inkling that this would be the way things end.
Well, in any case, since the Ba fragments are with me now, I guess I can call the shots. Sethos, I would like you to succeed Bamoon as the new leader of the Temple of Silence. You are more suited to the role than I, and I have complete faith that you will be an excellent leader. Just think of it as doing me a favor.
But doesn't that render everything that we've been through up to now meaningless?
No, it doesn't. This experience has allowed us to become friends, which means that the Academia and the Temple of Silence will become partners once more. That's a much bigger deal than you might think, Sethos. You said yourself, times have changed. You have to believe that things can change for the better here at the temple too.
I will try. To be honest, I couldn't have asked for a better outcome.
Actually, part of me wonders whether Bamoon's intentions from the very beginning was just to create enough pressure to force us towards a duel. That way, no matter who won, one of us would have to surrender our Ba fragment, and the power of Hermanubis would be concentrated in one single person. Had you won, the Temple of Silence would have doubled its strength. And were I to win, he correctly anticipated that I wouldn't suddenly drop everything to become the leader of the temple, much less integrate the temple into the Academia by force. He knew that the temple's future would depend not just on the guidance of Hermanubis, but the support of the Academia too. So he made it his responsibility to ensure his successor would be free from the burdens of the past. His plan meant that whoever ended up succeeding him, they would have an easier time interacting with the Academia. With one single letter, he lured out the professor. No matter what happened after that, it would result in a net benefit to the temple.
And here I thought the General Mahamatra wouldn't care for all these trivial details. You're absolutely right. Grandfather and I considered this from every angle. Thank you for everything, Cyno. As a gesture of our gratitude, to those that you and Lesser Lord Kusanali deem worthy, the Temple of Silence has a wealth of information on King Deshret's civilization. More than any other organization in existence today. But you must be exceedingly careful with your selection of candidates, lest you lead humanity to repeat the same mistakes. By the way, Tainari, my grandfather was so happy to see you. The story goes that King Deshret chose the sage Hermanubis from among the Tainarians and appointed him as his familiar. He went on to fight many valiant battles with his Tainarian companions. The Tainarians who left Tuletula joined their human counterparts in the rainforest. A few centuries later, when some of the group returned to the desert, in all likelihood, those were your ancestors.
How fascinating. My father once mentioned that I was named after the Tainarians, But I never knew that my forebears had such a history with the Temple of Silence.
I like this.
By the way, has anyone seen Cyrus?
Yes. Cyrus. You'll probably find him in my grandfather's room.
If it's true that you and your grandfather really planned for everything to turn out this way,
who knows?
Someone's got to make the decisions when history is at a crossroads. I will make a detailed report on all of this to Lesser Lord Kusanali. And I'm sure you'll have lots to attend to in the days ahead. If we're going to work together,
I will. All right. Well,
See you soon. Come hang out with us anytime.
Best of luck to you, Cephas. This story quest is so long. Longer than I would have hoped. Chat, hold on, give me a sec. Alright, so my roommates brought the chicken over. She went to my dad's place. So gonna eat chicken after we're done with clearing this quest. Or let's say maybe in the middle of it, considering the side stories are so long. So I might go eat dinner when I feel really hungry.
What were you thinking, gallivanting off into the desert alone at your age? What if you take the bucket, You told not a soul what you were up to, designated nobody to handle your affairs, and left everyone scrambling frantically to try and figure out how on earth to clean up the colossal mess you'd made.
Oh, please, will you stop your yelling? What other choice did I have?
What do you mean, what other choice? Do you mean to tell me that after all your years of learning, and sagehood no less, the only idea you could conjure up in that white-haired walnut of yours was to shoot off into the unknown like some hot-headed 20-year-old adventurer? A one-man suicide mission, That's the best idea that one of the finest minds of a generation could come up with, is it? It astounds me that you survived the journey, and you're lucky that Ba Moon didn't finish you off when you arrived.
All right, all right. Honestly, the way you're going off on me, it's like you wish you'd been there to lend him a hand. Does it mean nothing to you that I'm your colleague and former classmate?
I've got nothing more to say. What's the point of berating an old bag of bones?
What do you mean, bag of bones? I'm a flesh-and-blood hero who, despite his old age, saved our General Mahamatra from being stripped of his powers. Okay, look. Fine, I admitted I was in the wrong.
Inari's master is really laying into Cyrus.
I didn't read
Professor
it.
brought this on himself. Don't pay any attention to him.
Wow, I haven't seen Master get this riled up in a long time. The last time he chewed someone out like this must have been back when I was still a student.
I think I'll go around and update everyone. Tell them the situation's resolved. We can go for dinner afterwards. My treat. You in?
I'm in.
Makes sense. I'm in.
Free food is free food.
Raymond's coming too. Let's go.
Wise words. Free food is free food. Oh, Kole! And Faruzan.
Hey, Kale.
You're back! Well, look who we have here. Would you mind explaining to me what has been going on this past few days? I heard you all ran off into the desert and got embroiled in a major catastrophe.
All taken care.
That does not answer my question. How could you be so careless? That goes for you as well. Yes, and you too. When you run into problems, you really ought to ask for help, you know? I've been around the block. Don't you think it would have made sense to involve me? And let's not forget, I know the desert like the back of my hand.
now would not be a good time to attempt to argue with Farazan.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. It's not the first time that I've had to talk to you about this sort of thing either. You need to learn that there are times when the right thing to do is get a more experienced member of staff involved. Do I make myself clear? Because if you don't,
Kale, please do something.
He's giving me the signal. All right, guess it's time to play my ace in the hole. Say, Madam Farazan, I can see you're pretty upset, but, I was just wondering, remember that time you offered to give me a tour of the academia? Does that offer still stand?
Huh? Wait, did I hear that right? Kale, you remember? Wonderful. Well, of course the offer still stands.
I love Farazan.
Poor
She's so easy to
Kale getting
please.
dragged off like that. Also, check out Farazan acting like some sort of official academia tour guide.
Kale, cup.
Huh? What? Oh, right!
What do you mean, cup? You need a cup. I can get you a cup.
Oh, it's nothing. Just Master's way of reminding me to stay hydrated while I'm out and about.
It's code for let's reconvene at the cafe. Tainari and I used it while we were in school, and it's become something of a family tradition.
Oh, they're family.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Mm-hmm. 2 people left.
Let's bring along to Alhaitham and Kaveh. They're talking about them, aren't they? Alright, how do I... Oh, didn't mean to open that. Gotta go on top of that.
Is it possible to install a vision?
Kaveh and Alhaitham.
Am I hallucinating? Or do I see Kaveh and Alhaitham engaged in diligent studying?
We're just reorganizing all the books we used.
There's no rush. No.
My sincere thanks to you both.
Yes, with your help.
Aside informs Alhaitham and Kaveh of everything that happened in the desert.
I see. The Temple of Silence resorted to...
And it sounds like they managed to preserve a whole load of ancient documents.
That day will come. The Temple of Silence is a hugely important organization. Now, as a token of my appreciation...
Sounds good.
Yeah, sounds great. Although after the last few days, I don't know if I can handle another coffee. But I can just order something else.
Sure. Let's go.
Wrong interpretation. There we go.
And then the Traveler just pounced on their opponent and knocked him right out cold. Then there was Tainari. He put up an amazing fight too. We ended up winning all 3 bouts. Whoa. Part of me wishes I'd been there to see it, but I'd have been biting my nails off worrying about you guys.
A truly edifying account of the events. Bereft of detail, but it has livened up the room all the same.
Yes, for
Hey,
Espanol.
included all the juicy details. The Traveler just pounced and then waved their sword like this, then spun around and blocked.
Despite winning 3 bouts in a row, you still ceded the position of leader to him.
Of course. Being dignified comes with being a true champion.
I got to be a champion too for once. I've not sparred much with desert folk before.
Yeah, huge
I didn't
place.
read it again.
Felt like
I
something
keep
right
forgetting.
out of an epic poem. Imagine this. It was like there was...
Maybe save that one for later, Paimon.
Everyone enjoys each other's company and the General Mahamatra's generosity. The shockwaves left by the Temple of
I think
Silence
that'll do
are
it for
blah blah
today.
blah.
Shall we stop off at the House of Dana again before heading home?
My thoughts exactly. See you around.
I should
The
get going as
boyfriends are
well.
leaving.
See you all later.
I need to go say thanks to the Core 30 for their help. Also, Sir Nephis says he wanted to introduce me to some of the Academia's work processes.
Kale's come a long way. She's much more confident at dealing with other people these days.
Everyone's a work in progress. You never stop learning.
Exactly, never
true.
stop learning. Alright, we don't get to finish Clorinda's story today. I am hungry.
It feels like everything's finally wrapped up now. Life is all about these moments when you can finally relax and hang out with good friends after a job well done.
Then let's come back
Do
again
you three have anything
sometime.
planned for the rest of the day? If not, would you come somewhere with me?
Sure, where are we going?
That's a secret for now. Wouldn't want to spoil the surprise.
Okay. I think I can guess what you're talking about. It'll definitely be a nice surprise.
Well, now Paimon's curious.
Right. I wouldn't guess that Cyno's quest is so long. If I knew, I would have streamed earlier than that. Man. Oh, that's kind of dangerous.
Been a while since I last made my way up here.
Oh, look at this place!
Need any help?
I'm actually a tree climbing champion.
As you wish.
It's a nice spot, isn't it?
What a great view! We're so high up, we...
Traveler.
Yeah?
Turn around.
Ah, the view. It's beautiful.
This is my secret base. Somewhere I only bring my best friends. When I
Oh,
was a student, I used to slip away and climb up here all the time, just to clear my head. I was quite young then, and hadn't made too many friends yet. Back then, I had a lot of the same questions that Sethos was asking. Who am I? Why do I have this power? And what should I be fighting for? Our gifts help us to find our rightful place in the world. That was my experience. And I'm sure Sethos will figure things out in his own time, too.
your main inextricable linked to the Temple of Silence, as long as Hermanibus powers endures. Holy! Cannot pronounce that.
You two really are like brothers.
I feel the same way.
You're one tough cookie, Cyno.
Of course. I see no need to be humble when it comes to the facts.
I still remember one time when we came up here to chat and do our homework. Cyno accidentally dropped a fruit. Luckily, he has fast reflexes, so he caught it just in time.
That was the one and only time. Nothing will ever slip through my fingers again.
Those were good times.
You know, Paimon really shouldn't be able to imagine Cyno doing something like that, but for some strange reason, the mental image is coming through clear as day.
Then make it stop. There's somebody there. It's Professor Cyrus. You guys carry on without me. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, you're not supposed to jump down! Be careful!
Are we done? Are we done? Are we done? No, we're not.
Oh my days. I can't believe how stupid I look in this one.
Professor, what are you muttering to yourself about?
Cyno. Ha, just the man I'm looking for. Guess what I found in some old notebooks?
Some old
Oh, that's baby Cyno.
Can you believe
So
it?
cute.
This notebook was just sitting in a pile of odds and ends in the sage's office.
Look at him
I must
sleeping.
have forgotten to take it with me, and no one's touched it since. It was still right there. I was at the Academia earlier to discuss my workload with Nephis. I swung by the old office to have a look around and just happened to cross it. Oh, time flies. Look how tiny you are in this picture. Still
So
a kid.
cute.
You look quite young yourself in that one. Ah, it's this one. I remember that. Lisa took it, didn't she?
Yep. Looks like her work, all right. Who else could have found just the right angle to make me look so unbelievably hideous?
And this one. Looks like we're both dozing off.
Oh, cheeky girl. Taking secret photos of us without our knowledge.
Is there something you'd like to say to me, Professor?
Like what? Like, these are good photos, aren't they? Hey, at moments like this, I hardly know where to begin. I can't pretend I'm a good person. But Moon had every reason to despise me. And well, so do you if you feel the same way.
Don't be ridiculous, you old codger.
Is that not what you wanted me to say? Oh, I've dreamt of that place many times after leaving the desert. Sometimes I've dreamed that I was doing research with him again. Oh, it was one of the happiest times of my life. You've matured so much over the years, Cyno.
Since you're my professor, I should save you some face by not calling you out on all the non-answers you just gave. So, I will do the right thing and keep my mouth shut.
Good thinking. Take your own advice next time. Seriously, why bully an old man like me? I thought heroes were supposed to be gracious. Hey, wait, how did I not notice this one earlier?
Lisa strikes again. Just how many did she take?
Look how cute you were when you were little. I remember how well-mannered you were back then,
so
too.
Cute.
Yeah, and look how serious and professional you used to be.
Oh, I can't compete with you anymore. First you get better than me at the deadpan jokes, and now you're besting me at those little quips too.
Don't say that. I still have a lot of respect for you.
Hey, what would you say to meeting up with Lisa again sometime?
I'd like that. Let's find a time and pay her a visit in Mondstadt.
All right, I'll add it to my schedule. Let's go next week. Wait, no. Next week is the tomato growing competition. I have got to beat Zaha Hadi.
Or you could find a real hobby, Professor.
This is so heartwarming. Their interactions with each other is so cute. So cute. I love it. Such a great story. Alright, let me just switch back to Japanese voice acting before I forget. And I might stream Genshin and Honkai Star Rail again next week. Because Honkai Star Rail events, right? Claim? Accept the quest? This is the next one. Oh, 2,200? We have 200 of them now. Since when? Huh. Alright. With that, we are done with the stream. Gacha game streams galore real. So next week is definitely another Genshin stream and the Honkai Star Rail one. I will probably start with Honkai Star Rail earlier. Because Honkai Star Rail has like what, 2 or 3 events. That's kinda too much. Anywho, let me get my rate message. This is my rate message. Tomorrow I will stream Valorant with Xena at 3 p.m. CST. I moved it earlier because I have an appointment, a drinking appointment later on. So, with that, let me get my raid ready. I think you guys already know who we will be visiting with the raid. Hold on. Where is it? There we go. He is playing Wuthering Waves right now. And he got Yunling! A lucky bitch. Anywho. I wish you guys all well and take care of yourself. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Bye bye.